What's up, y'all? My name is Trevor Went. I'm a visual artist raised in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I make art to challenge perspectives and give hope to the marginalized and oppressed. And since we're all still stuck inside, and a lot of y'all have asked about editing tutorials and things like that, I'm gonna give you a photo editing tutorial today on what I'm gonna call dreamy, low contrast, black and whites. So let's get to it. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all a quick rundown of how to do this. So the big thing to know with this style of editing is understanding the tone curve. So with this, what you're trying to do is you're trying to take this stuff up here, these white values, the brightest points of the image, what you're seeing with here in this part of the histogram, you want those to go to a more gray feel. So the first thing you got to do is, of course, turn this to a black and white image, which you can do by hitting either V or the black and white treatment thing, tab, whatever it is, right at the top of the basic on the develop tab. So I'm hitting V. So right now, this is what it just looks like converted to black and white. And I'm gonna go over here to my tone curve. And so on my tone curve right here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the pointed version. There is a version with sliders, which you can access through this bottom right little icon joint. You can go to the kind with points. So you want the kind with points. You wanna grab this top point, which represents your whites, you know, the brightest points of your image, and you want to pull this down to a grayer spot. So get it to the kind of light gray that you feel like looks pretty decent. And then what you want to do is stop. You want to just leave that point there. And what you're going to do is you're going to hit another point on this curve to grab the highlights basically. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull that up. You know, watch what that's doing to your image while I do that. And then the next thing you're gonna do, which this is already accomplishing a lot of the look of what you're trying to go for with this kind of low contrast, dreamy look. So what you're gonna do from here is you're going to grab this and the shadows and just give it a little bit more contrast, give a little bit more face or shape to the face. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit more detail in those midtones, which are gonna be showing up right here. And really that's the look already. And so might add a little bit more to those midtones. And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to add some grain because that's the kind of vibe that I like for this. And so I'm gonna just move up on this effects tab. It's at the bottom on that right hand side of the develop window. And I'm gonna move this. I like a lot of grain, but I don't like the size to be too big. So let's say 18 for size is pretty good. And then amount, I'm gonna put it, I don't know, let's put it at like 49. And then I'm gonna leave the roughness kind of in the middle. Go full screen, check it out. Yeah, I like that. Might add a little bit of contrast just to, or not contrast, but add a little bit of sharpness to make that stand out. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna show you another technique real fast with a portrait of my friend Paris. So pull this in. This was raw out of the camera, which is pretty dang good right out of the camera. So I'm gonna switch that to black and white. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this contrast slider. So I'm gonna take out some contrast. So you're not seeing as much, you know, dynamic range, I guess, contrast between the blacks and the whites. You're not seeing as many, you know, dark blacks, and you're not seeing as many light whites. And so I pulled that out, but I'm also still gonna go to that tone curve because I wanna limit its ability to make any sort of very, you know, whites. And then I'm gonna do that same thing. It's looking pretty good. I like that a lot actually. And then throw a little bit of contrast in there, push up those midtones. This works really well when the image is more high key, which means that it has a lot more highlights than it does shadows. Low key is when there's a lot more shadows than there are highlights. So that's looking pretty good. I'm liking that pretty well. You can kind of push that a little bit more and then, you know, do the grain thing if you want to. I'm gonna show you two more. Same kind of thing, image of me, and I'm gonna kick up that exposure to get that where I'm having a lot more whites here. Grab that point, kick that up. I like what that's doing in those midtones already. Might kick that up just a little bit more. and then pull some of these blacks out to make that a little bit more flatter of an image. Love that. I think that's good where it's at. And so rock that down, add some grain, fire. I'm gonna show you studio portrait to get an understanding of how this looks in a different scenario than, you know, outdoors like these other ones have been. So same thing, except I'm gonna need to turn that to black and white first, so you can already see that kind of working. As you can see, it's kind of made my skin tone not as black, which I don't like because I'm black and I want to celebrate all that blackness right there. Yeah, as you can, so I just took this kind of black and white mix set of sliders here where you would usually find your HSL. But when you switch to black and white, you get to work in all the different color values and how they're appearing in black and whites. And so that's what I'm doing right there. Might drop that highlight down a little bit, this white's down a little bit, maybe kill that contrast a little bit more. And if I'm doing that, obviously it's messing with my skin tone again, so we're gonna bring that down. And that's it, that's pretty good. I think that works. And then I'm just gonna do a speed edit of this. You can just see how this portrait of my friend Anna turns out. Here we go. So with Anna, as you can see, I'm utilizing a lot less shadows and it's a lot more flat, but I think it looks pretty good. I mean, that's before, that's after. I like that. I like that, that's not bad. So going forward, I'm gonna do some other kind of short editing tutorials or color grading or different pieces of what I do, transitions, different things like that, to kind of help y'all improve and grow within your game. And so yeah, if you like this video, gain anything from it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, make sure you hit that notification bell situation so you can get updated every single time I drop a new video, and hit the comment section if you have any questions that I didn't answer in this video, and I'll try to get back to those as soon as I can. So that's about it. Be easy, y'all. Be safe. Peace.